Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to CSS. I was going to say SCC. One of these days, I'll get it correct. Crispy, welcome in the chat. Always good to see you there, my friend. We are here for Spa Francorchamps for what is, I'm guaranteeing, going to be an absolute spectacle tonight. Spa always provides some incredible racing as. Well, I say racing, qualifying. It's all really tight here in Belgium. But a few things to say beforehand. PlayStation side of things, it was Epic Vale who set pole position for ET8 with a 140.090. It ended in intermediate tyres as Damien Curiel from the TF10 team took victory in the end. And the PC side of things, it was Kendon Lutt who took pole position with a 140.7, I should say. And it was an FVR 1-2, but Kendon lost it on the line by a tiny little bit. But you know what I have to do? Because it is just started raining on the track as everyone has absolutely bombed it out of the pit lane. I haven't even got myself ready. It is that bad. But some incredible scenes here in Spa already. I wonder if it's going to be a very hectic little bit of a time to start things. Drivers are forcing them way through. I suppose we should really go on board with a Red Bull, which could very well be Venom. No, it's not Venom. It won't be a Red Bull either. It might be Williams or Alcin. No, it won't be Alcin. RB, FRT Sam. No, it's his teammate, who is FRT Harvey. Look at all the cars just carving their way through here right now. As all these through, they go. As well, into Blanchimont, and the old bus stop chicane turns 19 and 20 will be FRT Harvey's very tricky time, because the wet, it's not wet enough just yet to cause any issues, but it's going to be enough for a little bit greasy, a little bit of a problem for some of these guys out here, as it will be, well, super, super tight as he heads into La Source now. Here comes FRT Harvey. What can he do? I have got a co-commentator, and I will introduce him. It is Ollie in a moment, but through Eau Rouge, Radion, and down the Kemmel Straight, it's looking relatively good at the moment, but hopefully Ollie can hear me, and he is good, well, nearly good to go.
I can hear you, Gareth. Yeah, apologies everybody, schedules clashed a little bit there, but yeah, Gareth, I am here, just quickly loading the game very shortly now.
Fantastic. Good to have you alongside us, Ollie, and into turn 10. Oh, and it's a drift from FRT Harvey. This is problematic for him. The rain, as I was going very much today, is very, very much causing effects for some of these drivers out there. I wonder how many more runs we're going to get. There's Samuel, who's just started his outlap, and Josh, who hasn't even gone out on track yet, and that could prove absolutely fatal for some of these drivers when the weather is getting worse and worse here in Spa, as Kieran has retired from the session. He's crashed. I think that is just before turn 10, and that's not ideal for the Aston Martin man. And it's just so difficult for some of the, well, for Harvey to keep the car pointing in the right direction through into the old bus stop chicane. He's going slow. He's definitely been caught up by the Williams behind him. Both of the Williams behind him. Probably going to set a little bit of faster lap time. That is TTM Alcin and Placky. Both go quicker. Who else through all this? Tex manages to go second. Silo then pole position provisionally. But some of these drivers really struggling. Bourbon Boy, one of them, who has invalidated. Quantum, he's coming across the line now. Back end steps out a little bit, and it's 11th place for him. Nail then is coming across the line. Can the Aston Martin driver do anything through it at all? No, he can't. It's only 13, and hoping through all this, at some stage, Ollie has managed to get himself in, or if he hasn't, I need to get him into the lobby. Ollie, are you in?
He's just loading in now. I had a couple of errors, but I'm hoping to see I am. I've seen a wet Spa Francorchamps in front of me, Gareth.
It is horrid out there at the moment, and it's getting worse and worse. And Josh has gone for a set of intermediate tyres, and you know what? I better put the tyres that are on for the best tyres. And 146 is a really slow time considering earlier on in the week, or the events on the PlayStation, the PC side of things, they both did a 140 in the dry, which is not ideal for the guys on the Xbox side of things, but people are now going out onto a set of inters.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting, though, because the guys are already done their lap on the softs. Is that Inter really going to improve on a soft running lap? I don't know. It's difficult to tell. There's no spray on the back of the cars just yet. It's that weird mixing period, isn't it, we've had in the past while commentating at Spa, Gareth. Whether those inters are going to be any better, we're going to have to wait and see. Well, Josh is on his out lap, so he'll be the first. Well, Deer's just disabled. There we go. So, yeah, I think it might stay like this, Gareth, and won't change very much at all.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the inters are that much better to be on because they are sliding around at the moment. And, yeah, Josh, even through that part of the sector of Stavolo, and it just seems very, very difficult for some of these drivers to keep everything afloat, I think is the best way to describe it. Through Blanchemont, it looks very, very difficult, and he is going to go for a lap. So maybe it's a little bit of practice for a possible wet race.
Exactly. Spa's got his own little climate, hasn't it? At times, and we can see it here. Rain pouring down in qualifying. We'll see what Josh can do as the only man on a lap. It looks like I think Bolton Boy's also flying around on his out lap, but nicely negotiates Radion up the hill. He goes down the Kemmel Straight, but again, we'll see whether he's improving. Why he has to do a dry time, so this is an improvement regardless. But again, I can't. He's purple, Gareth. I mean, maybe the rain hit the right point and these times will come down. Purple in the first sector from Josh B13 here into the downhill section through sector 2. A little bit of drifting through this part of the circuit. He's going to struggle with grip as he comes round the next double left-hander. And he's gone wide, and that is him in the gravel, and that's into the wall. Commentator's curse, and I think that's going to be back to the pits for Josh.
Yeah, I think possibly the lower end of the 48s are possibly, or some of these inters drivers might be able to get there. We'll have to wait and see. Treat, however, has decided that enough is enough. He's not going to get any faster than the 147. It's a little bit of deluge coming down. It's getting harder and harder, and you can see maybe a few puddles forming. And I wonder if it's going to go completely the other end of this and go absolutely full wet conditions out there, because it is hammering it down. We've seen this in Spa quite often in real F1 as well as everything, sim racing world, that it is unforgiving. I'm not sure if I've lost
the wall in your race is over.
Unfortunately, I didn't catch any of that, Ollie, and it probably was some really insightful information.
Can you hear me now?
I can indeed. Gotta love technology, hey?
Yeah, lovely. What was I saying? I'm just, Spa is a cruel mistress at times, and making a mistake at the wrong point in wet conditions. You can see the rain forming on the circuit now. Some people still on board with Josh. You make a mistake coming through the first couple of corners, and that's you in the wall, and that's your race over with. And we saw Josh make a mistake through sector 2 there. It can be a really difficult circuit to negotiate in the rain, let alone the dry. So we'll see whether we see any sort of improvement. I mean, Tech Brutal is up to 3rd. I didn't see his time beforehand, but a lot of retirements already on track, and I think the guys know they can't improve on where they're at now, and it's only going to get worse on circuit.
Through Blanchemont, and Bourbon Boy really struggling to set a lap time. He's invalidated even through that, and it's already a 144 up at the bus stop chicane, so he's not going to go any faster than that. I think Samuel's going to go for a lap, and some of these people, Josh being one of them that was caught out in the pits late, Kieran Derry who crashed, CRE Hops is on a, I believe, qualifying ban through this as well. So that's why he wasn't able to set a lap time, and he's all the way down towards the bottom. And we'll look at the standings shortly, but CRE need as many points as they can get. They're currently 5th in the standing. There's, I think, 22 points between them and the precipice of this. It's not many points in the grand scheme of things. When you look at it and you go 35 points for a win, you can catch that quite quickly.
Oh, absolutely. We've said it multiple times in this series, Gareth, how things change, and the fact that points go down to 15th is a lifesaver for some of the drivers, even though some people retire when they are in 15th. You know, a gap can be closed very quickly. You mentioned CRE. You know, it's 11 points behind BRT. You know, it's nothing. It's really nothing, and the gap's from 1st down to 5th. I think that's where this fight is now, isn't it? You know, not to put out the other teams P6 to P10, but they're going to need a lot of work to try and catch up with the top 5 teams in this league going into the latter part of the season.
Definitely, and like I say, with 7 minutes left of qualifying, we will go over and have a look at the standings between qualifying and the race start, because, well, we kind of have to. But I'll cast your minds back to last season in round 6 when we were at Spa-Francorchamps again, and it was Shazoo who took pole with Shazoo Elite with a 1:40.251, and it was TF10 Agonize that took victory in the end. Both Shazoo at the moment, well, there's no TF10 for starters in the Xbox side of things, and Shazoo in the Red Bulls at the moment, they're languishing in 5th and and 9th place for M Racer. So some drivers definitely they need a little bit of help, but they are in P3 in the standings. They're only 9 points away from the top of this standing board. So anything could still happen, but they just need a little bit of luck on their side. Now we're in this second half of the season.
It's always a way, isn't it? A bit of luck go your way, and you're seeing something completely change, can't it? So we'll see how Belgium treats some of these teams. Again, it's going to be if it started a wet qualifying session, God knows what the race will hold for them. But again, like you mentioned, there's 9 points splitting 1st to 3rd. It's nothing, and it's only 11 points splitting P1 to P4 in the standings. It's nothing, is it? You mentioned how close this league has been so far, and they've really provided us a great show. And like we've said, one race can make or break your season here in CSS.
It definitely can indeed, and I'm glad you get it the right way round, and one of us in the comms box get it the right way round. Samuel managing a 1:51, so 3 seconds off the pace of FRT Sam, who did put his time in a wet set, on a dry set, sorry. Let's have a look at the best. Yeah, he is a little bit off the pace there. Both the Ferraris, who I should say are XBG, have retired. There's only 4 drivers yet to retire from this one. Both of the McLarens, who are the NVR team. VCarb are FRT. In the Williams, we have TTM. Red Bull is Shazoo. Mercedes are FGE. Sauber, or Kick Sauber, I should say, are BRT. Aston Martin is TIE. Already said Ferrari. Alpine is CRE. And Haas AMS. So we are missing one of the CREs. We'll only have one Alpine or CRE driver tonight. But yeah, that's just a quick rundown of the teams here for CSS. That was right, wasn't it? CSS, it is right.
Yes.
You'll have to hold my hand through that one and tell me off when I get it wrong. But the weather's getting worse out there, isn't it? And these drivers, Samuel is doing a stellar job of keeping the car pointed in the right direction.
He is. Fair play to any driver still on circuit. I can't see any improvement. It seems more like a drift session more than a quality lap, Gareth, with how the car's handling at the moment. He's keeping it just about within the white lines, but is struggling a little bit coming around the last sector here at Spa. Flat out down here, but the back end can step out through the section, but he's taking the time through the gears, and Quantum and Sam both retiring there, so I assume Samuel will also retire coming into the pits now with 3 minutes left of the session. And we'll get underway racing hopefully very shortly. Yeah, into the pits for Samuel, and fair play for him staying out, but again, I think it's to no avail really. And there we go. That is the end of qualifying.
It is indeed, and well, we'll see the McLaren get into his box or pit box, I should say, the MVR driver get turned around and hopefully to the screen where it shows us who is where and what and how. And it is AMS Silo in the Haas car that managed to get the timing right perfectly for him, let's say. TTM Alson in second, third to Tex, and alongside him on the second row of the grid, it's TTM Placky. Then we got Venom, Justin, The Treat, FRT Harvey, M Racer, AMS Misha, Quantum, Jake, Nail, Samuel, Josh, Bourbon Boy, Kieran, Derry, and CRE Hops, rounding out the top 19 drivers. And like I said, I promised we would look at the standings, and let's have a look at the standings. It is TTM at the moment leading the way with 192 points over Novus, who are on 188. That's only 4 points between the top two teams, and that's how close it is here tonight. Well, I say tonight, throughout all of CSS, which is just showing how good it is. And Team Shizou there, just a further 5 points behind. Then we've got BRT, who've not had the best of lucks at the moment. They're on 181. CRE on 170 in fifth. Then FRT with only 112. They probably would have wanted a little bit better than that. AMS with that win at the mystery round Circuit of the Americas now on 108. FGE with 57 points. XPG 51 and TIE on 37. And 100% certain. Well, I'm hoping we've got a restart. I usually do, don't we? So we'll wait and see for it all to pan out. And it's off to our beautiful faces, Ollie. And wow, what an indifferent qualifying because of a load of cars. Just seeing loads of cars going off in the side, but everyone pretty much went out early to set their laps, and now, well, we had a little bit of a subdued end of qualifying.
Yes, it was a frantic flurry, and it ended with a damp squib, didn't it? Really, at the end, pardon the pun. But yeah, it was to be expected with a dry start and a wet finish to the qualifying session. Nowhere to improve. If anything, it's just a practice session for those who wanted to practice the dry part of the circuit. The wet, practicing the wet, just in case we did have rain in the race, but we don't know that, unfortunately. So yeah, a bit frustrating, but it's one of those things. We like to see a heated battle for pole, but sometimes it's not the way, Gareth.
Yeah, no, and who knows what will happen in the race. We could have interchangeable conditions. I know you and I have commentated around Spa in the past when it's rained, but it's not been enough to force the intermediate tyres. So, maybe we'll have something like that tonight, or maybe it's the other way round when it's just enough rain that the dry tyres aren't picking or aren't grippy enough or part of the circuit, and that's what I kind of love about Spa, because it's constantly like this and constantly interchangeable. There's no words to describe it. Some of the most historic corner names in F1 alongside Silverstone, and you mentioned half of them, and people will know exactly what you are on about. But I know you didn't see all of qualifying, but from what you've seen, well, I say from what you saw, it was very much a case of one-shot qualifying, wasn't it? So we can't even say off of pace who's going to do what.
Yeah, you literally can't. It's up in the air. The fact that we've got one of the AMS boys at the front is great to see, but we just don't know, do we? We just don't know. It's up in the air. It is pretty much just a sprint race now, with qualifying, with how messed up it was with the weather. Who knows who could win? It's a difficult one. Again, because we didn't see anyone's real pace, Gareth. It's difficult to judge who is good at the circuit. It's really up in the air. So I don't think I could even give you a prediction. You could give a name, but I'm lost for words. I really am. God knows who could win this.
Yeah, it's a it's going to be a difficult one, no matter who. I mean, safety car. I don't want to say. I usually try and figure out the percentage, like percentage chance of a safety car around a circuit, and I'm not actually 100% certain what Spas is, but I reckon it's quite high.
Hmm.
And the chance of wet weather, the chance of okay, Kenzie's. I've just seen Kenzie. I'm not watching two socially awkward middle-aged men have a conversation. Yeah, okay.
I'm not I'm not middle aged. I'm 28.
Well, middle age is getting younger. Makes me feel better anyway, if that's the case. Race start, I suppose we will know very, very shortly when the race has started. So do apologise for that. So, if you're affected by possible middle-aged men, socially awkward, I don't know. I can't even think
We'll
of a
start
way to...
talking about ales now, Gareth. That's what will really invigorate the chat. Ales and Brompton bikes. They'll love
Yeah,
that.
we'll do that. So the drivers are getting put into their qualifying positions. We'll know very shortly whether it's going to be wet or dry. For the race, I kind of want to hope that there is, a little bit of interchangeable conditions, because that's what I love about Spa. But yeah, looking through, safety cars are high, corner cutting penalties. We saw in Zandvoort a couple of weeks ago, penalties can be key to a driver's finishing position, which we know, but we know how quick these guys are, and they're on one. Well, they're so in tune with their cars, I suppose I could say. They're so quick that safety, not safety car, DRS trains are likely around Spa.
Yeah, we've seen it in the past. You look at turn 16 to turn 20. That's one whole big straight, and we've seen plenty of trains happening there. And then from turn 1 down to turn 7, and it can get hectic. We've seen it plenty of times, and I think, guys, if we do see safety car, it'll be in dramatic fashion. We've seen how quickly the cars go along the circuit. Mistakes happen coming into 7 and 8, and coming on 18. We've seen side by side, even three abreast coming through there at times, and it's just caused mayhem. And unfortunately, one driver loses out, and that can cause safety car. So hopefully, obviously, we get all 90 drivers come through, but there is a highly likelihood of a safety car in this race. Whether it's by weather, by instant, we'll have to wait and see. And I think we'll finally get going now here at Spa. So hopefully we can get amongst it and get racing very shortly, Gareth.
Yep, well, that is what we're waiting for, to Kenzie's pleasure, I'm sure. But Boberts in the chat is saying that we'd be talking about ales since he's older. I'm not even going to risk saying my age on stream because I'm old. But I do love ales. Chat, who do you think is going to take victory? Ollie, I'll give you the question in a moment. But the way things are going, book a flight to Turkey. I know. Let's have a look at the standings. Bloody hell. One last time. Actually, no, let's not look at the standing. Let's have a look at the calendar. Obviously, we're starting the second half of the season now, and Belgium is the first race of this final 6 races. Then you've got Qatar, Las Vegas, a mystery Grand Prix, Hungary, and ending the season in Japan, the only figure of 8 circuit in the calendar. It's pretty strong way. Qatar can cause some. Well, it's such a tight and twisty motorbike track more than anything, a MotoGP track, but it can throw up some good racing, and definitely the way you've got to manage your ERS there is a big key point there. Las Vegas is very, very similar to that as well. And there we go. Yeah, I've given you a little bit of time to think, Ollie. Who do you reckon?
I'm going to go with the boys at the top, TTM. TTM Ailson is going to be my pick. He's been up there all season. He's been consistent. We always seem to talk about him, so it can't go wrong with that type of prediction. Starting second in the race, his teammates not far behind him for some some help on everyone else, team-wise, is a bit spread out. So, yeah, I'm going to go for TTM Ailton this evening, Gareth.
Fair enough. You know what? I'm not 100% sure. I don't have any hold to any team. I do like Shizou as a. Actually, forget about that. Let's go to the race scene because we're on 5 lights here in Spa-Francorchamps, and away we go for Spa, and it is looking like a really good start from AMS Silo, actually, which is exactly what he would have wanted, but Alcin around the outside of La Source, but I don't think it's enough, but he's going to keep his car there, and down into turn 3, 4 and 5, which is Radion and Eau Rouge. It looks like TTM Alcin has got the position done before that, but can Silo come back as they come down the Kemmel Straight? He goes to one side, but Tech is coming through there as well. It's going to be 3 wide as they hit Lacoombs, and surely not. Surely one of them has to give way, and it is going to be Tech and AMS Brutal, and surely a little bit of contact between BRT Justin and AMS as well, but it's just about TMS Alcin in the lead at the moment.
I was on the edge of my seat there, Gareth, coming into 7 and 8, but glad they all managed to get through just. But Silo obviously lost 2 places off the start now, and he's got Justin directly on his gearbox as well, so he's have no rest at all from the 2 kick drivers coming through P1 for the first time here at Spa. Great lead taken by Elsin coming through Ryan and a Rouge on the first lap, but just about leading away now. But as we already know, Tech was a great driver, and he'll be hanging on Elsin coming through the last part of this lap, and our very first racing lap here as well.
Turn 16 as well, and very, very close, but it looks like the top 3 have managed a little bit of a breakaway as they head through Blanchimont for the first time, and Silo doing a good job of just keeping to the back end of the Haas driver, of the Kick Sauber driver ahead, but BRT Justin managing to get back into the swing of things, just to keep in there at the moment. No major losses. However, the top 4, something to point out is that they are all on mediums. There goes Placky at the inside of BRT Justin, and Justin tries to switch back on him, but I don't think the tyres are there for him. A medium compound of Placky working to his advantage, and now he'll have Silo, Tech and Alcin in his mind for the lead.
Yeah, Tech goes for the lead. He takes the lead off Ailton, and Silo going to fly by him as well and into second place, trying to claw the lead back here at Spa, but up to second. Ailton is 2 places within a straight guard, a couple hundred metres. He's down to third with 2.94.
I wonder how TTM will play this. Will they decide to let Placky go and have a go at the top 2? He's got those faster compounder tyres, or supposed faster compounder tyres on the mediums at this stage in the race. It's interesting. Crispy does put a good point. Why is no one started on softs is a possibility here, and we don't always see softs used in league racing at the moment, but it is a possibility here in Spa. But AMS Silence all over the back of Tech.
He is. He's right on board. Right on his gearbox through 15 and 16 there. Onto the back straight they go towards 17 and 18, and towards the bus up chicane here on lap 2. This is not close enough. I don't think the Silo could look to make a move into 19 and 20 here. A little bit, but not close enough at the moment. And everyone should say single file. Is already a penalty for MVR Samuel down in list 16. There he is. Too many drivers. But on to lap 3 now, and Tech fast up the race as you expect, but Placky not through yet, Gareth, past his teammates, so maybe not working together as maybe we thought they would. Maybe Placky allowing the teammate to have this fight and let her then get past, maybe during the scramble for P1 here, but Silo looking racy on the back of Tech.
Through Eau Rouge and Radion they go, onto the Kemmel Straight. The DRS lap is wide open for everyone behind Tech. To the inside goes Silo and into the lead of the Grand Prix, and there's no movement between the 2 TTM drivers at the moment, and Justin managing to stick to the back end of Placky at the moment. Venom managing to do a good job of keeping the treat behind, and Quantum both on the set of mediums, those 2. Well, Shizou Venom is on a set of hards, something to watch out for as well. And Shizou's teammate there is M Racer down in 14th place. No there on the medium as well. So maybe mediums haven't been the way to start this Grand Prix. It is looking overcast and cloudy, so could be. Well, it could be a little bit too cold for those mediums to really start kicking in at them.
Yeah, it could well be. It's difficult to know at the moment because you would have thought, the Treat, Quantum, Nail, all these guys would push on, but they're really not at the moment. And Blackie stuck on a teammate, and if anything, Justin's a lot closer than he'd like him to be. So I think the tyres aren't there yet. As Tech looking close to our race leader Silo, but again, not close enough. He's going to be brave enough on the brakes. No, he's not, but further back. There's contact between Justin and Ailson, and in the background there you've got Blackie and Justin. Justin takes both plays off Blackie, had a bit of contact through there, and watch out for Venom. Up the inside he goes on Blackie. Late break as they come into turn number 1. Side by side action coming through. Who's quicker on the accelerator coming out of the very good zone? I think it's just about Blackie. They're going to be side by side, Gareth, coming up the hill here. Will they stay like that? No, they'll not. They'll pull back in a single file, and Blackie just about holds P5 for now. But watch out down this pit straight, Gareth. DRS train inbound.
It is indeed. Tex gets past. I wonder if there's anyone else going to make a move as they head on down into Lecombs into turn 7, and it is just ahead. Blackie and Alcin and well, everyone in that have having a little bit of a ding dong as Justin and Alcin getting very close. They're side by side as they head through. Surely through turns 11 they'll find themselves in a little bit of a better situation, which they have done. But it's looking very racy for the hard compounded tyres right now.
Yeah, it's very race for everybody, and Again, someone's trying to pull this way through in certain corners of the circuit, but further ahead, it's side by side action between Treat and Ben. He don't normally make a move through 13 or 14. I think he knows that corner really, and names wise, but through they go 15 and 16. But Treat just can't get through at the moment. In the background, there was a great little fight between Treat's teammate Nail and Quantum, fighting for 8th and 9th here. It's difficult to know who to ball with Gareth, with how frantic it all is in these early echelons of this Grand Prix. But no moves into the final 2 corners, it looks like. I'd say that though. Treat and Venom side by side. A lot of wheel banging through there. And Treat takes Venom and is into 6th place.
There we go. Tex sets the fastest lap of the race again, but Venom's going back at the Mercedes driver of Treat. He's not giving up, and they've gone off the track. There's contact between the two of them. That's not ideal. And all of a sudden, everything is wrong.
They just got stuck together, Gareth. It was like a two blocks of Lego. They just couldn't separate whatsoever. And that is them down. Well, Venom's on 40, Treat on 11th. A horrible moment for them both. And they're suffering for it now. And fight for P1 is all over the place. There's cars dotted around turn 9 and turn 10 there. And Silo down to 3rd. Justin and Blackie trying to work his way through up the inside. But Justin won't give up through to 11. They go as contact. Somehow Justin keeps that car in a straight line. Blocked a lot by the BRT driver, but somehow keeps it in a straight line and drops down to P5. But lots of battling through this top quarter, Gareth. And they've all split apart once again, it seems, after that incident between Treat and Venom. They've all broken away and trying to concentrate on their own races like that. It's very frantic. But all this battling is going to affect the tyres massively again.
Definitely, in the medium compound tyres. Well, Nail and Quantum really have to use those mediums now, or otherwise it's not going to work for them in the long run. As I just see damage fly up there, or a carbon fibre it looks like fly up. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but AMS Silo ghosting now through the old bus stop chicane here in turn 19 and 20, but has managed to... Not 100% sure what's going on there. Into the pits is Quantum on his mediums. It's a very early pit stop for Quantum. I wonder if that's a pit stop for the NVR driver as they head through the source and down into 2 and into Eau Rouge and Radio for the 6th time. Tex is leading this group away, but Blackie hasn't done those mediums justice, and this could be a problem for TTM.
It could well be. He's not. Blackie's not really utilised his mediums at all. You would expect him to fly away, but he really hasn't. He's really struggling at the moment. Maybe he goes for where is not. battle, and unfortunately we don't get to see that data here in the comments box. But Ailson, again, we thought they were together a bit more, but they're really not. And Ailson struggling to keep Silo behind him. Silo's top the back of that Williams got a number of times here. I think he did damage to either car, but so he's got to be careful not to causing damage and ruin that front wing, and cost him a lot of time here. But top 3 being brought back together. Now it's the top 5, really. Placky trying to keep the coattails of the car ahead. Very careful because Justin's all over his gearbox as well as they come into the last part of this lap 6 of 22 here at Spa. But Ailson losing a little bit of time to our race leader, and it could be Silo, the one pushing into the bus chicane here.
See, well, we'll continue watching all this, but to a little bit of an interesting point now in 6th place. It's actually losing ground to this top 5. It's now 2 seconds between them. Here comes BRT Justin as he tries to find a way past Placky. Placky then has a go at AMS Silo, but nothing happening in the end, with them still single file as they head down into La Source for the 8th time, or 7th time, sorry. It's Tech leading the way from Alson to Silo, Placky and Justin. Those are your top 5 with 2 seconds gap to Nail just behind, who is now being caught by FRT Harvey on the slower, more durable hard tyre.
Yeah, is it medium? As the mediums just lost their will, and flying around the outside goes FG Jake. Where did he come from? And watch out for M-Racer behind as well. Harvey could lose 2 places. Yes, he does. And that's Harvey down to 9th place. I thought he was on his own there, but not at all. And both cars flying past, and both drivers will now try and catch Nail in 6th place. But M-Racer is still looking quick on his medium tyre. So is it Kurt Driver, or is it? I'm really not sure what's going on with the medium. Caution, yellow flag. Someone's made a mistake up front. It looks like it could be Placky. Placky and Justin have dropped a hell of a way off the top 3, Gareth.
Yeah, Justin's way off that top 3 as well. So maybe an instant between Placky and Justin that we missed into turn 10, which is not ideal for either driver or either team, to be honest, because it's BRT versus TTM at the moment, and Placky's got a little bit of work to do on those medium compounder tyres as well. He's not going to have the spare grip to catch up with Justin ahead if these mediums are off the boil a little bit in these conditions. Clouds don't seem to be diverting anytime soon. Like he's going to have his work cut out catching back up the top 4 as Justin's just holding on to the DRS, to the guys ahead. DRS is wide open again, and I think it's Silo that's going to have he thinks about having a go at Alson into turn 1, but well, thankfully for him, I think decides better.
Fair play to the top 3. They're split by millimetres coming into the bus chicane in the previous lap, and managing to not cause any damage or contact between each other as they hop over the curbs coming up Radio Rouge. Is Tech going to lose the lead once again and try to get it back on the next lap? We'll have to wait and see. Ailson flies on past the BRT driver, and that's him into the lead. I say it, fly past him, only just about made it, coming into the braking zone there, and Silo will have to stay behind for another lap, it seems, down towards turn 11 they go, and no one making any moves through. Difficult place to overtake. We have seen a couple of moves around the outside here, but have the momentum and hanging around the outside and then the inside for turn 12 there. But Ailson now our race leader with Tech in 2nd, and Silo there. Justin not far away, but he needs to keep, like Gareth said, needs to stay within that DRS window, otherwise he will lose these top guys in Placky now. Gareth down to 6th place as Snail gets past him. There's a damage to that Williams, I'm not sure. I don't tell from these angles, but he's having a heap of cars now appearing in his rear view mirror.
It's not ideal for the TTM man, and well, there's been pit stops for the MVR team. Both of them have gone on to a set of hards. This could be a very, very long hard stop to the end of the Grand Prix. We'll have to wait and see. Track position can be key around here as TTM Wacky is trying to get back at the TIE driver of Nail into the old bus stop chicane, and not happening at the moment. The top 4 still breaking away, but we've had a couple of pit stops, the Treat being one of them. He's deciding the mediums are not worth it, and the 2 NVR teams might be, well, the drivers might be giving data to the other teams about how quick they're going. It could be worth going on those halves.
Yeah, they could know something about the weather. There could be rain later on, and they're trying to predict that. It's a difficult one to get, but if they obviously the data they've got, and as quantum goes quickest, and a set of fresh hards, definitely one to keep an eye on. As there's a good little train happening in the mid pack between Jake Plackey and Neil for 5th, 6th, and 7th, and racing not far behind as well. But are these mediums starting to wear it down, Gareth? That gap has gone from 2 seconds to 2.7, 2.8 between 4th and 5th now. Is it the time to switch over? I'm not sure. And is the weather going to change it? That's why they're trying to hold out these mediums as long as possible, maybe? We just don't know, unfortunately, in Tom's spot. We wish we knew. But Neil just about holding off Blackie and Jake behind him. But it is a big old train all the way down to AMS Misha in 12th place.
It is starting to look a little bit brighter out there, actually. I think, if anything, the wet conditions for this one as we stay on board with the battle for P5. At the moment, Neil is doing a good job of holding on. It looks like Silo actually is trying to make a move on Alcin as they head through into 19 and 20. As actually Plackey looks like the driver could make a move on the TIE driver. He has a look into 19, the inside, but nothing to it. Neither of them pit. There is a M Racer going into the pits there, as well as AMS Misha. Shizu running up into 10th place. He's now got a 3-second time penalty to his name as well. Nail holding station as well. And I wonder, let's go back on board with Alcin, because at turn 7 down the Kemmel Straight, we found that Tech and Alcin could swap position, and Silo got very close to trying a move, but just couldn't in the end. Let's see how it pans out as they head on down the Kemmel Straight on lap 10, nearly halfway stage. Silo gets the inside of Alcin, but it's just not happening. He just doesn't have enough pace through and through. Justin's trying to bit of a switchback through at the exit of turn 9. He goes to the inside of Silo, and he's lost the position, has Silo, to BRT Justin, and that's crucial for BRT.
Yeah, great move from Justin. Took his opportunity well, had a better run through the chicane at the top of the hill, and managed to get up the inside, lay on the brakes, and made the move by the end of the corner. Great move by Justin, and finally gets into the top 3. And like I said, that's great for BRT with how close the standings are at the moment in the league. Obviously, Silo with how early Motorsport are doing in the league, they're off, but a good whole positive to keep up with the top guys now. But it's got a lot of work to do. We've got to make sure these hards stay in the good window, and we don't want them to obviously go off and them struggle and lose the top 3 here. So we'll have to wait and see how this all pans out. More yellow flags. I think that's Kieran making a mistake coming through the middle sector, but back to green flag racing here. And I think what will be key here with the fight that the top 4 have got will be when they pit. Who will be brave enough to pit first and cause maybe a domino effect in the top 4 for the lead of this Grand Prix? We'll have to wait and see. But I think there's a lot of different things at play. Now we're going to find out who wins the Spa-Francorchamps Grand Prix.
Yeah, we'll wait and see for definite through it all. But the top 4 doing a really good job. Plackey 3 seconds now, pretty much behind, and decided not to pit. We will stay on board with the leaders, actually, because I think they're going to go side by side again. BRT desperately trying, but Alcin forces his way through a gap that didn't seem to be there, but he managed to make there was just enough for his Williams to fit through, and Tech and Justin weren't able to hold off there. As we look on FGE Jake, who managed to get past Plackey down into Le Combs. We'll go back to the leaders as, I don't know, TTM Alcin now has the lead of the Grand Prix again. Maybe he saved enough of his ERS to really go for it and give a good account of himself. But BRT Justin holding back AMS Silo. Silo is really, really quick in this middle section through Campus and Stavolo. He's doing a really good job and getting really right up the back of the BRT driver ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately the straight line speed isn't as good as Justin's, and we've seen that him not being able to get by. I say that knowingly, you'll prove me wrong here, but we'll see if Salo can get closer. He's gaining a little bit on the driver ahead, but I don't think it's going to be enough to make a move on the take P3 off Justin here as they come through. Bus up chicane once again, and no one again brave enough for the pits just yet in this Grand Prix. Jake not too far off either. 2.8 splitting 4th and 5th. Keep an eye on that gap. As this race progresses as well, more lock up from drivers up ahead. But Justin, can he take back? Can he get into second, maybe in the lead? Here we've seen how quick and powerful the DRS and the slipstream is here as he hops over the curb. Great line from him, as Silas said it looks like. And watch out for Tech, already getting past Ailson as he goes to the inside. Justin flies on past the TTM driver and into second place he goes. Ailson doesn't defend, and now is a BRT 1-2 there. Great result so far for the drivers, but we're just over the halfway mark, so plenty of racing to go.
I think I've just seen Harvey take 2 positions. So Jake and Nail drop 2 positions. Placky back up into the 5th on his mediums. We've now got Shazoo Venom on a set of mediums at the halfway point of this race as well. He's made his pit stop early. He thinks he can do half and half. The hard compound driver still working to their maximum at the moment. But BRT have a little bit of trouble. They've got both their drivers leading the Grand Prix on the same compound of tyres. They can't pit at the same time because one of them would be massively disadvantaged.
Yeah, that's the only thing working with the on-sitting strategy. They're going to have to figure that out. You'd argue probably the lead car's decision of when they want to go in. There's more yellow flags, and I think it's Kieran who's made a mistake, but he's up and going again. That's great to see. But yeah, you'd argue it's on the lead car of when he wants to pit. It's a bit of grey cloud looming over turn 1 and 2 there, but I say that it is the man in second who makes the decision of Justin into the pits on lap 13.
He decides that is the time, and he's going to get the jump on all these drivers, and maybe that'll be enough. We'll have to wait and see. Placky still hasn't pitted. That is crucial on his set of mediums. Is he going for something different? Is he going medium soft? Because that is an out there strategy, not something that I would expect. But Placky's done weirder things in the past. Lead us then take us down the Camel Straight on lap 13. Don't think anything's going to happen. Let's have a look at the FRT Harvey point of view, because he's going for the 4th place from Placky, as Placky's still proving to be a little bit of a problem for some of these drivers.
Right, he'll make that car as wide as possible, Gareth, won't he? In fairness, doing well on warm mediums, not leaving too much ground to the guys around him, and trying to keep up with the team then, I guess, was going to be a little bit too much on instead of warm medium. They're keeping Jake and Nail behind for now, but we'll have to wait and see how this little battle pans out. Top three of obviously 4.2 second gap between 3rd and 4th here, so a while away for Harvey to try and catch these guys, but we'll see what these medium runners are doing. Yeah, is it a medium soft? I really don't know. Justin come out in P12 to note, Gareth. I thought maybe N-Racer would get him, but not close, as Harvey gets a penalty in P3, which is really not ideal for him. 3 seconds for the FRT driver here at Spa. More yellow flag, and it's Kieran again making mistakes into turn 11. Not ideal, as not fine further down. Justin is working his way through the traffic out. It looks like getting past both the Ferrari drivers there, coming into turn 19 and 12.
We've got a gaggle of cars throwing themselves into the pit lane, as one of those XPG drivers is then going in. Justin absolutely flying on this set of mediums. Where is he going to be when he comes round into the source? It is going to be ahead of Tech and the rest. And is Bourbon Boy, is this going to be a little bit of a bottleneck to Tech and Alcin, because the XPG driver has got out in front of them and he's 1 second behind Justin?
If Tech doesn't get past and down the Camel Straight here, it will cause a bit of mayhem here, but the speed difference there, Tech flies right by him. It was 2 different leagues now. It was F1 and F2 there, flies on by, and Tech was right again, seen it once again. But Ailson now stuck behind, and Sally both stuck behind the XPG driver involved by Bumbo's running his own race. He has no reason to let them through unless maybe they're friends, but flying around Ailson gets past and coming up to pull on here. And flies on past. Can Silo make the move as well? No, he can't. More yellow flag. I think that's a retirement for Kieran there in the pits, unfortunately. But Bourbon Boy, been a bit of a roadblock here, but they all get through fairly easily on their fresh tyres. and Golden Boy. I think the startle there by all the cars flying past and he's made a mistake coming through 14 there. But all drivers make it through, but those little gaps, guys, I will cost them time here.
They will indeed, and TTM Placky still hasn't pitted. He's doing something different. Hops has been passed by Tech now as they come through Blanchimont, and he's going to use a little bit of a slipstream to help him into turn 19. As you just see Alson in the background, 1.3 seconds. Still no pits for Hops as they come through. Alson's desperate for DRS, and he's going to be very, very close. I think he might get it in the end with the amount of changes happening now onto a set of softs. He's going to do something different. Placky leads this Grand Prix with 8 seconds to Justin and Tech behind. As CRE Hops, I think, is going to be in a little bit of trouble soon enough. But here's Alson and Silo. Silo's already gone to the inside at turn 6 and down the Camel Straight. He's back up into P5. Tech and Justin swap places as well, as it is all starting to come afoot with just under 8 laps remaining.
Yeah, great racing. Great entertainment so far, hasn't it? As I go into to 11. Well, Silo does. He's got Hops up ahead of him on 14 lap old hard tyres here. Should be able to dispatch him quite easily here. But again, Blackie holding out on those medium. 7.2 splitting for the sec. Keep an eye on that gap and so quickly the top, second and third on fresh tyres can close in on him. And you can see Hops just struggling around some of the corners in comparison to Silo here. Put right up with him, but coming at the wrong point of the circuit onto a heavy braking zone into P15 and 16 here. Up the inside he goes. Difficult place to overtake though. Very close there, and just about the AMF driver makes his way through, and there's Ailson to try and negotiate Hops. But again, Gareth, he doesn't have to let them by. He can race all he wants in this little battle, but breaks early. I think lets them both by nicely there.
Alson will have the same easy run, I think, as they head down Eau Rouge Radion and down the Camel Straight, as that Silo did the lap before. We finally had a pit stop for Placky. He's coming down. He's currently 10th. He could end up being behind Nail, and I think it is going to be that as they head through, and it could be even a little bit further down. Actually, it's very close, and we'll have a look. We won't bother watching those two. The leaders swap out as Placky coming through Eau Rouge and Radion now, just behind the TIE driver of Nail, but they've both got the advantage of the supposed faster time.
They should fly on by, shouldn't they? But they're all on fresh tyres. Even because a fresher soft is still a worthy adversary for a fresher mediums. You know, these guys aren't slow in his medium, so it's going to be difficult. Maybe he feels he's confident overtaking around here, but it's just a big old train forming ahead of him, all the way down to who is that? That is M-Racer in 6th place on a more worn, hard set of tyres. So he's going to have to be confident in his overtaking, guys, as is Nail in P12. So we'll see if they can negotiate the drivers ahead of him.
Crispy was questioning why no one started on the softs. We've got 2 drivers that's going to finish on the soft. We're just finishing lap 16 here at Spa-Francorchamps. We've only lost 1 driver, Kieran Derry. Unfortunately, he lost it a couple of times in qualifying at turn 9, and he exited turn 9. He did that in the race as well, and it just wasn't to be. He decided enough was enough. But that other driver at the moment is doing a good job. Currently P12, but we're expecting to see a little bit of fireworks from him towards the end of the race. But he has just been overtaken by TTM Placky, but got the position back really quickly. I think just at the exit of the bus stop chicane. They need to work together to get through the field. But I think you've quite rightly mentioned that the time. Well, there's just a train behind Emirates.
Yeah, they're struggling to get by. Can get by him? Yes, he can. But how many places will Emirates lose here? He's lost 2 there. Sam flies on by with Treat as well. Didn't see that coming. As Silo in P3 gets a part-time penalty. That'll cost him at the end of the race if that penalty holds. But Emirates loses 2 places within a very short space of time. And that could be the difference. But again, he's in a trade, so he can get him back. He was without DRS on the previous lap, but we'll have to wait and see whether he can hold that. But Placky's now got past Neil there, comes down the demonstrate, so we'll see where though. Placky now can push on and make his way back towards his teammate Nielsen in 4th place.
CRE Hops is still to pit. 16 lap old hards. Is he going to cause a little bit of trouble for these back? Well, he doesn't have to concede positions to these guys, but he could cause them a little bit of a problem through turn 16 into Blanchimont. Comes FOT Sam around the outside of CRE Hops. Is going to be really difficult. He can't do it. He's now going to have to wait until turn 19. Does he throw it up the inside? He thinks better of it. No, he doesn't. He decides to fly up there. Surely not. I was just hoping that Hops wasn't expecting it to go into the pits. But all of that hard work that Sam had done to get past, I think is going to be undone because the treat's going to get past. So is M Racer, who's throwing up the inside of the source on CRE Hops. CRE Hops is causing himself being an absolute nuisance for these guys.
Yeah, he's making it hard for himself, isn't he? He's making it hard for any driver trying to make their way through, parking the car in a difficult place. As flying by Venom goes, but all the cars ahead of him. Oh my word, oh, contact! And there's someone in the wall, Gareth. The Red Bull of M Racer into the wall, and that's a safety car on lap 18 of 22. 4 abreast, 3 abreast is harder, let alone 4. Tyres collided, and unfortunately M Racer was the man who just was in the wrong place at the wrong time, Gareth, and that is 2 races down with 17 left in the grid.
Wow, that was a perfect camera angle for it. I think it's the best way. BRT, though, are in big trouble if they are going to double stack this one. Oh, goodness me. How FRT Harvey hasn't got more damage. His car looks somehow in a little bit of pristine condition after M Race's return to the track after losing that front wheel. Wow. M Racer is going to be fuming. That's going to be an interesting steward's report, let's say. Lap 18 of 22. We're going to get a sprint to the finish.
Oh, we are indeed. And Placky is in a great position now to try and get these guys. He's on a better component tyre. Won't be many laps to do, and there's a pit from the top 2. Is that a smart move? I'm not sure. I'm questioning. Oh, everyone's in the pits. Obviously, I know nothing, and Ailton stays out. But I would have thought those tyres had enough wear. I don't know. I don't know, Gareth. You're gonna have to be really aggressive on the restart to try and take the lead back here.
I don't know, but Placky's got himself into 3rd position. Nails decides to go for fresh set of softs. I'm not sure if that's the wisest decision.
I think Placky's probably in the best position, Gareth. He's on top tyres. They've only done 3 laps. We'll only have 2 racing laps remaining. 2 or 3. Well, no, it will be 2, won't it? I think Justin and Teg have made a mistake there. I think obviously they might get past. I don't know. Jake and Ailton are on fresh tyres. They're not going to be slow by any means. So I think a couple of drivers they didn't need to pit then. Everyone was on fairly fresh tyres. You know, some people were on, Hop, for example, was still going round on worn hard tyres, and in fact he's in 10th after starting in. So we had qualifying, didn't he? So he's up in 10th. It's great for CRE, but yeah, I'm not sure by a couple of the choices here made by the drivers.
Packy, I don't know, but I think because so many drivers pit, I think the BRT team can say that they were justified in that. Silo managing to jump Tech because of the double stack. It's going to be interesting. We've got to have at least 2 laps racing, I believe. So the safety car could stay out for another lap. I'm not sure, but everyone's back together, so it might go in early. So early, it could go in this lap. Plenty of carnage now, surely to unfold in front of our eyes. Unfortunate M-Racer, unfortunate for him, and I think Shazoo maybe a little bit aggrieved with the decision of CRE to stay out as long as they did. We will wait and see. There's no safety car in this lap, so we've got another lap of this, Ollie. Another lap of deciding whether TTM are going, because effectively it's going to be TTM that take not maximum points, but extend the lead at the top. It's BIT that could very well take the lead of this championship from the end of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at the standings and where everyone is, teams wise, and NVR are an absolute shock of this evening, Gareth, with Thornton and Samuel down at 14th, minimal points for a team in second place. They're going to be dropping down to maybe 4th in the championship. Shazoo, Venom's there in 8th, so he'll score some points. So that is helpful to a point. Emery's probably going to score points as well. But yeah, it'll be a shake-up in the championship if it stays like this. But we'll see how BRT do here. Obviously, Silo and there as well. But of course, he's got a penalty, which isn't helpful to his particular finish. But yeah, Sam and he's in Bennett's got a penalty as well, isn't he? So yeah, the penalty's going to cost him more than they would have normally because of how close everyone is. Everyone is on circuit.
And it could mean Ferrari or the XPG team can pick up a few more points, throw themselves on FGE, which are the Mercedes guys. They're looking second at the moment and ninth, so they won't be able to get in front of the FGE guys. But hopefully, for them, that is to put them a little bit away from the TIE team, who, Nail's the only finisher at the moment, but he's got that. Oh, well, he hasn't got that penalty to his name, actually. The fact that he's getting points, Bourbon Boy and Josh really need to push a little bit on and get some points for them. I don't know how Alcin plays this. Does he decide to go early? Does he decide to go late? Because he's got to be, I don't want to say a sitting duck down the Camel Straight, but he's going to be nearest damn it.
Yeah, obviously it won't be any DRS on the restart, will there? He's got... Yeah, I mean, I'd go as soon as possible, try and get as much of a gap as you possibly can, or to catch him out going somewhere where you wouldn't expect him to go. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Jake, not too close to the back of him at the moment, giving him a little bit of space. Jake maybe a roadblock here, maybe he's got some vendetta against someone else here, but closing that gap down a little bit now is more like it from Jake. But Elson using as much of the road as he possibly can, not gone yet, so we have to wait and see everyone else very close together. But and to see where the TTM work together here, guys, in some capacity, trying to score maximum points here in Spa, and off they go already.
It looks like Placky is under increasing pressure from Justin as they head into turn 19. He can't make the overtake until the start-finish line, don't forget. So he's got to be careful where he does it. Blacky's a little bit of a mistake at the exit of turn 20, and Justin's going to be all over the back of him. He goes to the inside of La Source. There's a bit of contact between the two of them. There was contact at the early stages of the race between these two as well. And Justin's surely going to make the move. He's going to make the most of his fresher tyres, but into Eau Rouge and Radion they go, side by side. This is dangerous. This is very close, but somehow they've made it stick, and Justin's holding in there. So is Placky. Justin's going to try and squeeze over to the racing line, but I don't think it's going to be there available to him yet. And Placky retakes the position, and oh my goodness, it's close. And FRT Sam gets through there just in the background as well. Justin clips the back end of Placky, holding up. Placky is doing maybe a bit of a defensive job as, oh goodness me, Silo very, very close in with Justin as well. This is all time.
My word, I'm just looking back on the rear wing of Placky, and it's like a pack of lions of a Placky here. They're all over the place, and I think that might be Justin up the inside, coming around Poulon, up the outside for the next corner, but again, not close enough. He's trying his best though, and Placky defending for his life. And I think that might be to no avail now, and round the outside they go. Contact from both the cars, and that's 2 places lost, 3 places lost for Blackie now, and he tried his best, Gareth, but didn't succeed. But he's helped his teammate massively here, as well as Jake.
FGE are going to be possibly giving TTM a little brown envelope at the end of this one, because they're currently sitting pretty in second place. Silo and Sam got penalties to their names as Blackie is dropping down the order really quickly there. Sam trying to defend from Tech. The DRS is open this lap, but I don't think... Oh, Justin might get it as we look on board at a terrible camera angle into the source. As Shazoo Venom and Tech battling away. Hammer and Tong there. Let's go to the leaders, because Alcin and Jake are going to go through into the Kemmel Straight for the last time as the DRS is open on Jake. FGE could take a surprise victory here tonight.
They could well do that, Gareth. Justin was on board with, had to lift through Radion, and that cost him time and allowing Silo to get on the gearbox. Makes another mistake there, but Silo not close enough at the moment. Ailsin trying everything in his bag of tricks here to try and get past Jake, but can't make his way through just yet. I think he might stay behind you and wait for one final opportunity for the bus stop here. Through Bourne they go. He's had a better run, Jake here. Watch out for Justin and Silo in the background here. They're waiting for any mistake from the top 2 to try and take the win off the top 2 here. Jake just not holding the lead, coming through the last couple of corners here at Spa. Through 14 and 15, round towards 16 they go. Look at Beati Justin clawing his way back towards Ailsin. Can he claw back second, guys? I'm not sure he can. We'll have to wait and see. Couple of corners to go.
Through Blanchimont they go. The red lights are flashing on all of them. FGE Jake holding station at the moment, and Justin's gone around the outside. There's a little bit of contact. Silo's trying to get in, but it doesn't matter about them. Jake, as long as he puts it in the right direction, keeps it in the right direction, away goes Alcin. But Jake is going to take victory, or is he? It is finished for Jake. He's up into first place. Justin in second. Nail, who I thought made a mistake pitting, is in third place for a massive point score for TIE. And you saw what happened to Elson. What happened to Elson?
Just starting to look, Gareth. Silo's up the inside, and just there was a little bit of contact, as you would expect, with a flurry at the end. But Elson span around and unfortunately down in 11th. And TTM cost themselves a lot of points this evening, Gareth. And again, I expected to run away with it after looking at what happened with the safety car, but just didn't go that way.
Well, there we have it. That was I don't know how to describe that one, because that was a wicked end for TTM, real wicked for them, and not as in a great form. It was just unfortunate. BRT are going to be really frustrated as well because of their major point loss, with Justin and Tech looking like they were going to take victory and a 1-2 to boot. Let's go down the order then. It was FGE, Justin and Nail rounding out the podium finishing positions. There was the treat in 4th, 5th is Silo, Tech in 6th, 7th to Placky, 8th to Quantum, 9th to CRE Hops, Sam in 10th place, 11th to Alcin, Shazoo Venom in 12th, 13th to Bourbon Boy, 14th to Samuel, and 14th to Harvey, and 15th to Samuel, rounding out the point scoring. Misha did finish the race, however, unfortunately, Josh didn't, and neither did M Racer, Kieran, or Kieran Derry there. Oh goodness, how do we round that one off, Ollie? Because that was a tough one.
Yeah, quite a fun game, wasn't it? And unfortunately disappointing for some and great for others. Jake, where did he come from? Started in P12 and managed to get the win, and that's a huge amount of points for FGE. And the fact that treat, after him being in the gravel at turn 1 and from I think 4th down to P10 to come bring it back to P4 is great for him. Yeah, it was quite a race, wasn't it? And again, no rain, but we also had a safety car, so it was quite the race, and another entertaining evening in CSS.
Yeah, and I mean it's difficult to choose one driver for driver of the day, but there was some certain question. I don't want to say questionable motions, but there was some bad points for some of those drivers. Not only from incidents, but it just didn't seem to fall right for some drivers.
Yeah, I mean, you at some points you thought, oh, okay, stay around this position, that'd be great, team effort, but it didn't play out that way. TTM we thought would get a good haul of points, didn't go their way. Same with MVR. They're up there in second standings and were nowhere near in that Grand Prix at the end. So yeah, some winners and losers team wise. I wish I could see the live standings and see where we're all at, but we have to wait till next week. But a couple of teams have been able to call their way back up the leaderboard, Gareth, which I'm sure they'll be happy. Well, the team owners will be happy with that at the after this Belgian Grand Prix.
Obviously, TIE not having the best of seasons, but that third place, sorry, for them, it could be crucial.
Oh, absolutely. That's gonna help them out massively. Some races that just don't go their way, but obviously gone a little bit helped them out a little bit this evening. Again, still a long season to go, but it's getting closer and closer to that final race of the season, Gareth. It's creeping up. Out of nowhere, we're over the halfway point of the season, and yeah, it's getting closer and closer.
It's definitely getting closer, and just a reminder of what is happening throughout the final 5 rounds here. It's Qatar next, round 8. Lusail is more of a we found in the past. Well, definitely more of a MotoGP track, but has caused drivers no end of headaches with ERS management, and that is going to be a fun one to watch because drivers have to really manage. They can't burn their ERS like they would do on the first lap, and then be able to defend. They kind of have to manage it properly.
Yeah, I don't know too much on the circuit, I'll be honest with you, Gareth. I've not had a chance to commentate it over it yet, but it's something that I look forward to learning and seeing how the drivers negotiate it. But from what I've seen on telly, it is pretty much a bike circuit that you stick giant F1 cars on. So it's going to be interesting to see how the guys negotiate it next week. But looking forward to it. Looking forward to a new challenge and see how the guys get around. And again, don't know too much about it, but I'm assuming it won't rain with it being in the Middle East. But you just don't know with this game sometimes.
You never know. Imagine if Qatar has a wet race. You never know. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been a fantastic race, a very, very entertaining and action-packed race. I think Ollie is the best way to describe that one. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to come back for watch the PC and the PlayStation side of things on Friday and Sunday nights. And join Ollie and I back next week for Qatar. It's been great. Thank you so much. Catch you in the next one.